Hi, Kenzie. My name is JD Heatherly, and I will be guiding you through this usability session today. Before we begin our session, I'm going to go over some necessary information. I will be reading from the script to ensure that I do not miss any pertinent details regarding the usability test. First of all, let me say thank you for your participation in this study. By now, it is probably apparent why we have brought you here, but I'll go back over this just to make sure. Today, you're going to be testing out an application for us to see if said application works as it was intended to work. This session will take roughly 1 hour. When using the application's interface, keep in mind that we are testing out the usability of the website. This test is not a direct reflection of you. If you make mistakes, that is okay. The purpose of the test is for us to figure out how easy it is to use the interface, not to gather how proficient you are in using the interface. As you use the application's interface and navigate through the given scenarios, we would like for you to verbalize your thought process as much as possible. As you work through the scenarios, tell us what you're looking at, what you're trying to do, and your thought process for performing the actions that you're performing. By verbalizing your thought processes, you provide us with valuable information that can be used to improve the interface. Do not hold back any thoughts of frustration that you have regarding the interface. This test is designed so we can improve the usability of the interface. As we go through this usability test, if you have any questions, ask them. In some cases, I might not answer your question immediately because we would like to see how the participant responds to a challenging scenario without immediate help. When we're done with the test, I will try to answer all of your questions to the best of my ability. If you need to stop recording at any time, you may do so. Inform me that you would like to stop recording for a moment and we will pause the test. Throughout the test, you will be using an Apple iPad. With your permission, the iPad will be recording the screen as you use it, and it will also be recording our dialogue. This recording will only be used to improve the interface of the application. The only people that will have access to this recording are those that are working on the project. This will allow me to take fewer notes. This time, I would like to ask you to sign a consent form for us that states that you give us permission to record you. It also states that this recording will only be seen or used by people associated with this test. So if I can get you to, just erase that, I can get you to sign your name there. And then put the date at the bottom. Okay. First, I'm going to ask you a few general questions. What is your occupation?
I'm a teacher.
How long have you been doing this occupation for?
3 years.
How much time do you spend using your devices for non-internet basic tasks, such as working on Word documents or playing non-internet based games? Per week is fine.
Average at least a couple hours a day.
Okay. On average, how much time do you spend on the internet per week on your devices?
A lot of time, since we're teaching virtually. Pretty much all the time.
So what would you say per day or per week you're spending on the internet?
At least 6-7 hours a day.
Okay. Do you use a music streaming service such as Spotify, Pandora, or Apple Music?
Spotify and Pandora.
Okay. If so, which one do you use most of the time?
Spotify.
Roughly how much time per day do you spend listening to music on your streaming services?
Roughly a couple hours a day.
Okay. Great. We're done with the general questions. Now we can move on to looking at the application interface we are testing. First, I would like to ask you to look at the interface and give me your first thoughts and impressions. What, if anything, jumps out at you? What company created this application? What kinds of things do you think you can do on this app are some guiding questions. Give me 1 or 2 minutes of narration regarding the interface. You may scroll up and down, but do not click on any of the buttons or links just yet.
I see that there's top picks, so I'm guessing that that's things that are popular that a lot of people are listening to. It shows recently played. Over to the side, it looks pretty easy on finding. I see a search bar to find songs easily. Playlist, it kind of looks like Spotify on the side because that's exactly how it's set up. Over to the side. The Made for You, I'm guessing that's Apple's way of picking out songs that you listen to frequently. Spotify kind of does the same thing where they make the playlist just based on things they think you'll like, which is probably one of my favorite parts of Spotify. So
you've mentioned Spotify a few times, and you've mentioned some of the similarities. Just off of the first glance, what are some noticeable differences maybe that you can see from Spotify to this interface?
Spotify, when you first click on it, it's more of a trying to get you to branch out. It doesn't really pop up all of your stuff when you're first looking at it. It's more trying to get you to look at other artists or podcasts or things going on.
Okay.
Apple's popping you right to your stuff. So, like I said, Spotify, I branch out a lot more because I have those other options.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. Now I'm going to provide you with a set of scenarios, one at a time. For each scenario, you are to complete the given task at hand. I will read each scenario out loud and will provide you with a printed copy if you need to read the scenario. For each task, I would like for you to try and avoid using the search function unless the scenario specifically asks you to do so. Once again, I would ask that you think out loud as you work through each scenario. So your first scenario, and there it is. If you need to read it, I will read it out loud to you. You have a song stuck in your head, but you cannot remember the name of this song. With that being said, you do know some of the lyrics to this song. Search for this song and select it to play. For the sake of this scenario, you may search a song you know the name of, but let's just pretend that you don't actually know the name of it and you remember some of the lyrics. So how would you go about finding that? And once again, kind of vocalize your thought process as to how you do this. Tell us what you're clicking on as you're clicking on things, so on and so forth.
So, if I didn't know the name of the song, the first thing I would go to do is look and see if I can figure out the artist. And go ahead and do it on the screen.
Yep, you can go ahead and touch the buttons. You can navigate now.
Okay. So, song I'm doing, I would type in Casey Musgraves, but it doesn't pop up an artist. So then I would try. Oh, how do I get out of this? Oh, there's how to get back. Couldn't figure out how to get back to the main screen. And I'm trying to not use the search bar.
For this one, if you'd like to use the search bar, you
I can.
This
Okay.
one, yeah, for this one you can.
So then for this one, I would type in Casey Musgraves because I'm pretty sure that's the person who sings this song. So I would go to Casey Musgraves. Okay. And hopefully it lists her songs. It does. And the song I was looking for, those are not it.
Okay, so let's say you don't even know the name of the artist.
Okay.
All you know is a little snippet of the lyrics.
Oh.
How would you go about searching for that song?
Oh. I would type in the lyrics that I know into the search bar. So. So then I found it from there because that is the
Okay.
title of the song.
Okay. So moving on to the next scenario. You were wanting to listen to an album of your choice. However, you aren't too fond of the entire album.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 or 4 songs on the album that you really like,
Mm-hmm.
so you want to arrange the order of play so that these 3 or 4 songs come first when you listen to the album.
Mm-hmm.
Play the album and arrange the order of play so that your 4 favorite songs play first. So if you would like, for the scenario, you can just pick a random album and pick 4 random songs, or if you have an album in mind that you really like a couple of songs on and don't like the rest of them, you can do it that way.
Okay. So let's go back to here. All right.
So let's say
slide.
even if your favorites, let's say they're not the top 2 songs.
Okay.
Let's say you're trying to get 3 or 4 up to the top.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do with this one. Oh, that doesn't work. And I can ask questions, like, can I ask what the plus sign does, or do I just have to figure it out?
That I can't answer for
Okay.
you. But I will say
click
the
the plus
question says to go ahead and play the album first.
Oh,
the
okay.
music's not going to play because we have Screencast-O-Matic in the background.
Okay, so I can
But
just
it'll
click play.
show the little music bars playing.
Okay.
So how would you get 3 or 4 songs from, let's say, the bottom of the album up to the top to play first?
Okay. Oh, that was not the right button.
And that's if you add or delete things from the library, that's fine.
Okay. No, that just plays it. So I'm trying to click and drag thinking that that's what would help it, but it doesn't let me do that.
Okay.
Plus sign, I thought maybe that adds it to like a queue like on Spotify, but that just adds it to a library.
Okay.
So that doesn't work. I know what shuffle does. Shuffle will play randomly through the playlist, so it's not going to move my favorite song to the top.
Right.
Oh. So that was completely on accident by clicking down and holding on to it.
So what happened there? You clicked and then...
And it pulled up play lots of options. I can play next, but it doesn't move it to the top of the album. Is that what I'm trying to do, is just get it to play next?
You're trying to create the entire album in a different order
Oh.
to play. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, now I gotcha. All right. Beautiful lyrics. Create station. So no, that doesn't move it to how I want it. See what friends are listening to. No. No. Oh.
So what happened? What happened there? What'd you do there?
I clicked on the song itself, and it brought up the whole playlist where I can, looks like I can change. Oh, now I can change it around. Okay. Well, that's confusing. So I have to know to be able to click it on the bottom, even though there's buttons over here. If you click on the actual song, it allows you to move it around.
So it's not necessarily clear that you can even click
No,
down there.
not at all.
Okay. Okay, so your next task, you are in the honeymoon phase of a new song, and you want to learn the lyrics of this song. Is it possible to see the lyrics of the song as the artist performs the song? So is there a kind of live lyrics feature where when you play a song, you can see the lyrics as the artist is singing or performing the song?
The only reason I know this is one is because I accidentally clicked on it a second ago, and it gave the view full lyrics option. So that would have taken me a minute to find if I didn't do that. And it's not a live thing or anything, but it does give the lyrics.
So is there a live feature that displays the lyrics as you're playing a song?
There's music videos, but that's not. It does give the lyric video on here, and I don't know what that would do if I clicked on it. But other than that.
So it's okay. You got the song playing.
Yeah.
Obviously. That is a little tricky since we're not listening to the music.
No. Is that what I was trying to do?
Yep.
Okay.
So what did you do there? What kind of happened, and walk through your thought process?
Only
and how you
reason
found that?
I knew how to find that was because the tricky button of clicking it to where I can arrange it for the album itself. Look down here and I saw the little quotation mark. So normally that means words or lyrics. So that's why I clicked on it to see if it did something with the lyrics.
Okay. So your next scenario, you are looking for a playlist within a certain genre of music, but don't have any specific songs in mind. Find an Apple-generated playlist for a certain genre of music, and this could be a genre, it could be a year, really any playlist that you have in mind. So, for example, a 70s rock playlist, or a chill vibes playlist, or any playlist of your liking.
All right. So let's get out of there. I'm going to go back to that home screen where everything started. I'm just looking through the top picks, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'll click the browse button. Staying up for the holidays. Do you want me to say what I'm looking for while I'm looking for it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me a genre or a year of music or what.
I'm looking for an 80s rock album. It can be a chill rock album, or I'm just looking specifically for the 80s.
Okay. And for this task, if you would like to use the search bar or the search function, you can use
I can use it
well.
again? Okay. Well, if I'm allowed to use that, then yeah, I would just type in 80s and see what pulled up. Okay, so it gives a lot of options for 80s. I'll do 80s hits essential. And
Okay.
yeah, those were the kind of songs I was looking for.
Okay. So for your next scenario, you really like the playlist from the previous step, and you would like to add all of the songs from this playlist to your library and to a new playlist within your library.
Okay.
Add the songs to your library, to your library and to a new playlist.
Okay. So I know from clicking earlier that the little plus sign adds it to the library, but that doesn't add it to the new playlist. And that just pulls up what I'm still listening to when I click on the song, so that's not what I want. Like I said, I know by clicking that it adds it to the library, but it doesn't necessarily.
So maybe explain why, you know that the plus sign adds it. Why would that maybe not be a good option if you were adding a 70 song playlist?
Because that's 70 times I have to click that little plus sign.
Okay.
And yeah, not really feeling that.
Okay.
When I click on it, it does let me add it to a playlist. But I don't want to have to do that for every single song.
Okay.
Because in theory, there should be a button that adds all of it at a time. And then, even if I wanted to add it to a playlist, will it let me give a new playlist? Okay, it does give me an option for a new playlist where I can type in right there. More. Nope, that's just a description. Oh, what about this one? Oh, so that added, did that add all of them to the library? So I click the add plus button in the top right corner, but I don't think that added all of it to the library. I guess I can look in the library and see if it added all of them. Oh, it is adding all of them. Okay, so I click the add plus button, which added them all, or it's in the process of adding them to a library, but it's still not in the playlist that I wanted it to, into a new playlist.
So currently you have it added to the library,
Yes.
but it's not been added to a playlist within your library, or
Correct.
as a playlist in your library.
Correct. And I could do it individually, one by one. I know how to do that, but maybe the 3-button one. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that one would add it all. Do you want me to create a new library to add it into, or will that work? Or a new playlist? Okay, so that will add it all into a playlist. I'll just...
So go ahead and give that playlist a name, and then you can add it.
Okay.
Okay, so your next task. So you decide that you want to do some editing on this newly created playlist. Your title for the playlist just doesn't seem right. So you choose to rename the playlist. Also, and this is kind of a multi-pronged one, so I'll keep it in front if you need to read it. Also, there are a few songs on this playlist that you don't really want on the playlist. So you choose to delete a couple of songs from your newly created playlist. Finally, you realize that your favorite songs aren't at the top of your playlist. Rearrange a few songs of your choice and place them at the top of your newly created playlist.
Okay. So change the name, delete a couple, move a couple to the top.
Yep.
So I'm trying to just click on the name. That's normally what you can do on Word documents and things on all Apple products, is you just click on the name and it gives you an option to edit it, but that's not working. Click on the 3 at the top, the 3 little buttons. Edit. That's not working. Change the name. No. Okay, maybe over here if I click on this side. Okay, no. So I'm gonna go up and click this edit button. Let me change the name then. No. Okay. Oh, well, it lets me change it down there, but... Oh, okay. That was
So
weird.
what happened? Just kind of explain what happened there.
I was clicking on it, but it didn't give me any sort of bar or any indication that I was able to change it. So I kind of was just staring at it, and then by accidentally clicking on a button, I figured out it was actually going to let me type and change the name of it.
Okay.
So it didn't... Yeah, it didn't give me, like, the bar, the flashing bar to let me know I was typing, so I had no idea that it was editing it.
Okay.
Okay, that works for that. Now to delete some. So I'm still in the edit feature where it eventually let me edit the name, and... pretty sure if you click a minus sign, yeah, it's going to let me delete. So minus sign, and that's pretty much with any music service. If you see it, the minus sign, it'll let you delete. Okay, so there's a couple deleted. And now to try and get my favorite songs to the top.
Yeah, so if you'd like to look through and pick a couple favorites, or if you just want to pick a couple of randoms to get those to the top of your playlist.
Okay. So I clicked on the song to see what options it would give me. It's giving me add to library, even though it's already been added to the library. Remove download, add playlist, play next, play last, but nothing about moving it to the top. So is it like the other one where I had to play it first, maybe? After this plays, do you want to keep playing or clear the music you previously queued? I don't know what that means, so we'll just keep, so I'm not deleting things. Okay, so I'm going to do what I did for that one album where I had to rearrange. I'm going to see if that works. Or that's just moving it to play next, isn't it? That's not moving it in the actual playlist.
Correct.
Okay, so that doesn't matter. Okay, so that doesn't matter at all. All right. I know from trying 5 times on the other one that if I click on it, it's not going to move it anywhere. So I'm going to go back to the edit feature, like I did earlier for the name, and see if that... Okay, these. Okay, so the 3 lines to the side lets you move it to the top. Okay. But when you were doing the album earlier, those 3 lines were on the left. So that's why I didn't see them at first. So.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Alrighty. Let's see. So for your next scenario, you're looking to find the hottest new music within a certain genre, or within certain genres. Find the hottest new songs within 2 genres, and add at least 1 song from each genre to your library. So for this task, you cannot use the search function, but if you would like to use the search tab, you can. So you may go into the search tab, you just cannot type anything into the search field.
Okay. I'm just trying to find a couple new songs in a genre. Okay. And this is technically the search tab, correct? If I just click on it?
Correct.
Okay. I just can't type anything in the search bar.
Correct.
Okay. All really that does is just lets me see things that have been previously searched. I'm going to go back to the home, listen now, or no, I'm going to go to the browse. I'm going to go to the browse, and I'm going to go to the music by mood, click party. We'll see what that...
So by work? Genre, and I should have
by genre. Okay.
I should have clarified that. I guess you technically. Okay. So either like country or hip hop or pop or something along those lines.
Got it. Well, top songs of 2020, radio episodes. Categories, maybe? Okay. So categories, and that brings me to country. And then there's today's top country. And then, so I'll just add them. And just onto the library or onto the playlist?
Just add 2 songs onto your library. And add them to a playlist.
Okay.
Okay. So your next task You really like the new songs you've added to your library
Mhm.
and are looking to add more songs like these to your music library.
Mhm.
Pick one of these songs and create a custom station that plays songs that are similar to the song you chose.
Okay. Um, Okay. Oh, I don't want that. Okay. Mm. Oh. There we go. Okay. So I clicked on the song and that didn't work. That did not give me what I want. So I'm going to go to my library maybe and try it on there so I can see complete album, music video, maybe the 3 dots, add to playlist, remove, no, okay. Gives me More by Chris Stapleton. I want to create a station from it. Am I allowed to search bar for this one?
No.
Okay.
So what are you kind of walk me through? What are you kind of trying to look for here? What maybe cue are you trying to see to figure out how to complete this scenario?
I was trying to see if there's like a button or a more option saying like play more like this. Maybe that would give me a playlist kind of focusing on this one, because the only options that's really giving me right now is just songs by Chris Stapleton, which I could have just seen if I just went to the album that the song's from.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to find other songs that are
Correct.
like this, but not just Chris Stapleton songs.
Correct.
Okay. It does give me options down here on the bottom. It obviously gives me today's country, and that's where I found this song to begin with. So that has the song on there. It's going to be music that's similar, but it's not a playlist started from this song.
Right.
Okay.
So what are you kind of, what's maybe an emotion that's popping in your head right now, trying to find this or search for this? How is it?
It's just kind of frustrating. You would think kind of like close by it, you'd see maybe like something like more songs like this or something close to that instead of just kind of having to search. Instead of having to search for it. Oh, okay. So create station. I'm gonna say, do it. Okay, well it brought up a couple songs, but that's a lot of steps to get there. So you have to click on the song. So I'm finding with a lot of these things, you have to click on the song. So if you didn't know how to click on the song, you're kind of like starting out right there. You're not knowing what you're doing.
Right.
And then there's another 3-dot option. So beside the 3-dot option outside of it, there's another 3-dot option that then gives you the create station button from it.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So your next scenario. You are currently enrolled in Apple Music's free 3-month trial. For the sake of this scenario, this is my Apple Music we're using, and I'm currently on a free 3-month trial. After completion of the trial, you're automatically signed up for monthly automatic billing.
Mm-hmm.
When does your free trial expire? How much will your monthly bill be for a single plan once your trial expires? And finally, let's say you would like to add an account with you and your siblings. Is there a family option? What would that cost be per month?
I
So,
can
once
find
you-
all of that in the app.
Correct.
Okay.
So what maybe is kind of a visual cue or something that you may be looking for to get to this type of information?
Well, I'd like to see a settings button.
Okay.
A settings button, like anywhere, would probably be a good indication of something, but I don't see one at all. So that's the first place I would go, is if there was a settings option, but there's not. So I'm going to go, baby, back to the home screen. Browse. Radio search. Okay, so on the home screen, there's the little icon that kind of shows, like, symbolizes an account.
Okay.
So I clicked on that.
So why was that maybe a little confusing for you as to not knowing where to navigate or what button or to click on to get to that screen?
Well, because really any other website or app that you have, that account is going to be it's either your first option or your last option on a list, like over to the side, over on the menu bar.
Okay.
It's not in a tab itself where you have to know how to get back to find it.
Okay.
So that's what was, I obviously guessed like it would be on the first page since it wasn't in our list over here, but normally you would see it on a menu bar option. You wouldn't have to go find it in one of the tabs.
Okay.
So yeah, in here I can see the gift card, upgrade to the family plan, manage subscription, all of those things.
Okay. So, what are you able to answer the kind of some of the questions
Oh yeah.
of your of that scenario?
So upgrade to a family plan, just $10 more per month for up to 6 people.
Okay.
What was the automatically signed up for monthly billing? When does your free trial expire? Okay. Maybe manage subscription. Okay, free trial. Services immediately cancel. You're automatically a student. $4.99. Families $14.99. Oh, renews December 21st. So that's when that free trial is going to end, is December 21st.
Okay, and does it give you the information to tell you what you're going to be charged for a single student plan after the free trial?
$4.99 a month.
Okay. All right, last scenario here. You notice that when you use your library in the navigation menu, that you never use the composer's link. Remove the composer's icon from your navigation bar. Also, you realize that you use the albums tab far more than the other tabs. Move the albums icon to the top of your library navigation.
Okay. I don't even know where the composer's one is at. So.
This was from this was a faulty test.
Okay.
So just walk me through, and this was my mess up. So walk me through
Okay.
how that process.
So for that one, the first thing I would have tried to click is the arrow, which obviously would have just closed it down.
Okay.
Then the next button I would have clicked is the edit button, just because now it kind of looks like Google Mail to the side, and that's what I do in Google Mail if I want to get rid of one of the tabs. That's the button I would click, and then it looks a lot like that, where you can deselect something, and then it gives the 3 lines where you can move something to the top. So that one would have taken me one step, but I would have found that one.
Okay.
quickly.
Alrighty, so that concludes the scenarios. Thank you for completing the scenarios. At this time, I would like you to just give us maybe a 1 or 2 minute summary of your experience using the interface. Maybe highlight some of the challenges of it, highlight some of the things you liked about the interface. Since you are a Spotify user, maybe compare and contrast a little bit, and maybe just talk about your overall experience, some of your emotions you felt while doing it for a minute or two.
So I felt like there were way too many buttons to click. And especially like using this on an iPad, I feel like would be different than a phone. On a cell phone, there's no way I would have clicked some of those buttons. I feel like I really like how Spotify has a lot of new stuff in the front, but then I feel like it's a lot easier to find my music on Spotify than it is on here.
What was the experience like as far as customizing your playlists, adding playlists on this interface?
It was trial and error because there were two different options of the 3 dots, which like kind of like the more button. There was that option in the actual playlist, and there's the option in the song, so that got kind of confusing on which one I was wanting to use to add those songs. If it had just been me not doing a test, I would have just sat there and added 70 songs one by one, because I don't think I would have found, or it would have taken me a while to find the button to add all of them at once, which would have not been fun, and I probably wouldn't have made the playlist. I just would have listened to it from the playlist they gave.
Okay.
My question is, I don't know if you can answer this or not now. When you download these songs, do you have to use internet to listen to them, or does it download to the device?
It downloads to the
It
device.
downloads to the device like Spotify does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. Once you download it, it's just like Spotify.
Gotcha.
But once again, thank you for completing the scenarios and providing us with all of this valuable input. Your recording will be extremely helpful in helping our team make improvements to the interface. Do you have any other questions for me now that we're done?
Nope.
Thank you once again, Kinsey, for your time. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.